There is a $30 billion company headquartered in a suburb of Nagoya that is inside almost every restaurant kitchen you have ever walked past. Its products sit in 47 of the top 50 American food service chains. Its proprietary ice cube shape, a crescent, flat on one face and curved on the other, has become the industry standard at bars and restaurants from Tokyo to Toronto. The company is called Hoshizaki, and if you work outside the commercial kitchen industry, you have almost certainly never heard of it.
That invisibility is not an accident, it is the business model. Hoshizaki Corporation was founded in Shinkufek by a man named Shigetoshi Sakamoto in post-war Nagoya. The company's first product had nothing to do with ice. Sakamoto made vehicle horns, whatever a manufacturer could sell in a Japan that was rebuilding from rubble. A decade later, Hoshizaki pivoted to food service equipment, starting with juice vending machines. Then in Shinkufek Luxorsi and Shinkufek Luxorf the company introduced Japan's first automated commercial ice machine. That product became the franchise, and Hoshizaki spent the next 6 decades becoming the world's best at making it.
The company's latest annual results tell the story of what 6 decades of specialization looks like. For fiscal year Arsun Arswoof, Hoshizaki reported net sales of Suwa Hashwu 10 QN billion, roughly Santen ni Sor $billion, up Q10 each % from the prior year. Operating profit came in at Wusi 10 QN billion, with a fortress balance sheet. Lux war hek 10 ni % equity ratio and Fich wus wush QN billion in cash. The company trades on the Tokyo Stock Exchange and hit an all-time high in March. Nisen Ars Wu 10 its market cap sits at roughly Wus $billion.
Those numbers belong to a company that makes refrigerators, beer dispensers, dishwashers, and ice machines. Not software, not semiconductors. Ice machines.
To understand why, you have to understand the crescent cube. Hoshizaki's signature product is an ice shape that the company invented and patented. The crescent, flat on one side, curved on the other, has 2 properties that operators care about intensely. First, it melts slower than traditional cube ice because the curved face reduces contact surface between pieces, which matters at any bar that charges sek pertishro cocktail. Second, it is the only shape that works efficiently with Hoshizaki's own dispensing units. The machines are engineered together into a closed ecosystem.
A competitor can sell you an ice machine, but if you have Hoshizaki ice bins and dispensers, their machine creates friction in your operation. That kind of proprietary lock-in, built into a mundane commodity product, is one of the oldest moats in manufacturing.
But the crescent cube is the entry drug, not the moat itself. The actual moat is service. In Japan, Hoshizaki operates 15 dedicated sales companies with approximately 100 service bases nationwide and around 900 trained technicians. Those technicians perform maintenance under what the company calls its maintenance contract system, a subscription-like arrangement in which customers pay a recurring fee for proactive inspections and repairs, with same-day response capability. This is not a call center that promises to schedule someone within the week. This is infrastructure.
Think of it this way: a restaurant group operating 50 locations in Tokyo does not buy an ice machine once. It buys a relationship with the only company in Japan that can guarantee a technician will appear the same day its kitchen equipment fails during a dinner rush. Once that relationship exists, the switching cost is not the price of a new machine, it is the risk of being without ice on a busy Saturday in August. No rational restaurant operator takes that risk to save money on the next equipment purchase.
This service model is also the reason Hoshizaki's Japan business generates the cash that funds its global expansion. The recurring maintenance contracts create predictable revenue that the company does not have to earn again each quarter. Japan is the cash engine. The rest of the world is the acquisition target.
Hoshizaki's international playbook is methodical almost to the point of being boring, which is precisely how it has worked. The company established Hoshizaki Europe in Amsterdam, in Singkyu by Kyushu. It entered Asia through Singapore, in Singkyu by Kyushu, then China, then Southeast Asia. In Arsan it formalized a regional holding structure in Thailand to supervise subsidiaries in 6 Southeast Asian countries. The acquisitions follow a similar pattern: identify a category where Hoshizaki is absent, find a credible operator in that space, buy them.
The most revealing acquisition is Jackson Warewashing Systems, which makes commercial dishwashers. Jackson was previously owned by Manitowoc, Hoshizaki's largest competitor in North America. Hoshizaki bought Jackson directly from Manitowoc, effectively purchasing a limb from the rival. That is not a transaction you make by accident. It reflects a deliberate strategy of expanding the Hoshizaki footprint in commercial kitchens by owning more of what those kitchens need.
A second acquisition tells the distribution story. Lancer Worldwide, now part of the Hoshizaki Group, manufactures soda fountain dispensers. Lancer's customers include McDonald's and Burger King, the largest quick-service restaurant chains in the world. The Coke dispenser at a McDonald's counter is in many locations a Lancer machine, which means Hoshizaki's extended product family is already inside the global operations of the two companies that define fast food. The ice machine brand on the door may not say Hoshizaki. The group relationship is already there.
In July, HR Arsuvu Hoshizaki finalized the acquisition of Structural Concepts Corporation, a Michigan-based company with +1,000 years of history in refrigerated and heated display cases for supermarkets, food service operators, and convenience stores. The price was approximately $1 million for a company with $1 billion in cash and a $8 equity ratio. That is a bolt-on, not a bet. Structural Concepts adds the retail and grocery channel to a portfolio that already covers restaurants, hotels, hospitals, schools, and fast food.
The consolidated group now runs Wool new entities Shu in Japan, Su overseas, with Imwan Luxen Luxiji employees. Revenue guidance for fiscal year new Nesjil in Japan.
This is what the Japan Factor calls the hidden champion model, and Hoshizaki is its clearest expression outside of Kien's, SMC, and a handful of other Nagoya region industrials. The pattern is consistent: a company selects a niche too boring for a diversified conglomerate to bother with, becomes dominant in Japan through relentless service quality, uses that domestic cash flow to fund disciplined international expansion, and ends up with a global position that is nearly impossible to dislodge. The product is commoditizable in theory, the relationship is not.
A competitor can match Hoshizaki's ice machine specs, replicate the proprietary ice shape, build service centers, hire the technicians. In theory, doable. In practice, it requires decades and hundreds of millions of dollars and the willingness to undercut pricing in a business where margins are thin. No global player has made that investment for a segment this unglamorous. And every year Hoshizaki doesn't face that challenge, it adds more service contracts, more acquisitions, and more lock-in.
Hoshizaki's market cap at $1 billion probably understates the strategic value of the position it occupies. Inside the world's food and beverage supply chain, there is a company that touches every major chain, every major hotel brand, every hospital cafeteria, and a growing portion of every supermarket. It has done this while remaining almost entirely invisible to the investors and analysts who cover consumer brands and technology companies.
If you want to keep up with stories like this, subscribe to the Japan Factor. The question worth sitting with is this: how many more Hoshizakis are there, dominant, unglamorous, global, that nobody outside their industry has ever thought to look at?